Hi everyone, Kevin here from Golf Guy Reviews, and in today's video I'm going to go through a full review of the Mizuno Wave Cadence golf shoes. Now this is the brand new design for 2020 and it currently retails in the UK for around £140 on the Mizuno website, although I have seen it on other retailers for around £120 at the moment. So in the video today I'm going to go through all the details of the shoe, let you know what I think in regards to the looks and the technical aspects. I'm then going to tell you what they actually feel like on feet and how comfortable they are, as well as then go through, most importantly, how they perform out on the golf course. So I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Hit that like button if you do, and let's jump straight in. Now it's pretty clear just from looking at this shoe that Mizuno have gone for a sporty kind of design and look of the shoe. Mizuno have got incredible pedigree when it comes to their running shoes, and they've actually used some of that technology from their Cadence running shoes and put them in this golf shoe as well. So we'll cover that off in a little bit. But I would say that this is a very, very sporty looking shoe. Mizuno have tried to make it as lightweight as possible as well, and generally this kind of feels like a running shoe. I genuinely think that I could probably go out and run 10k in this shoe and not have any problem at all in regards to the fit of the shoe. Yes, it might feel a little bit heavier and it will have a little bit more stiffness in the shoe compared to a normal running shoe, but that's because this shoe has to make sure that it can perform out on the golf course as well. So we'll cover that off a little bit later in the video in regards to actually how it feels to play golf in these shoes. But first of all, you've got to say that this pretty much looks like a running shoe. Mizuno have incorporated a few different materials in this shoe to make it up in regards to all the different elements. And first of all, you've got this Kure upper material right the way around the whole of the outsole really. And this material is lightweight, so that's why one of the reasons why Mizuno are using it. It's breathable as well, and it offers really, really good waterproof capabilities as well. So Mizuno are offering 2 years waterproof guarantee with these shoes, which for a shoe which has, you know, some textile material to it as well, that's really impressive. And I'm going to come on to the waterproof in a bit because I actually did quite a thorough test in these shoes. Now you can see here as I hold it up to the camera as well, you've also got this textile material. So you've got it around the ankle here, and you can see it's made up on the tongue, and actually it goes right into the shoe as well. And that's because Mizuno are using a kind of one-piece booty construction for the shoe. There is plenty of padding on the heel and ankle, and actually the tongue is really padded as well. You can see here that's quite a thick tongue, but you know, it's not stiff at all. It's just nicely made up of soft padding. And so that is really, really impressive because the comfort of this shoe right out of the box is really, really great. I haven't had any problems in regards to blistering or anything like that. And yeah, it's just really, really nice and comfortable. Now Mizuno are offering 5 different colorways in this shoe. I've got them here in this white, blue and red version. And what I would say in regards to the style is that it's actually quite understated actually. So, you know, if you compare it against probably its nearest competitor, which is the Adidas Codechaos, you can see here that this is definitely a bit more of a bold kind of standout style of a shoe. Whereas this is just looking more like a running shoe. You know, you could wear this out and about and everyone I think would think that it's a running shoe. They wouldn't necessarily think that it's a golf shoe. Really interesting as well is in regards to the upper materials, you can see that they're actually quite similar between the two. They've both got this kind of rippled effect going on with their upper materials. I really hope you're enjoying this video today, so if you are, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date on all the latest reviews of golf shoes, clothing and tech right here on Golf Guy Reviews. Now given that the Mizunos are currently retailing on their website for £140, that is putting them in direct competition with the Adidas Codechaos, which not only kind of have a bit of a similar look, but definitely the Codechaos is kind of more bold in its look, but this actually retails for £130 at the moment on the Adidas website. And also the Wave Cadence has put itself in the direct firing line of the behemoth that is the FootJoy Pro SL. Again, these retail at the moment on the FootJoy website for £150. So, you know, very, very close price points between all 3 of these shoes. So effectively, you would say that Mizuno are aiming to provide a premium spikeless golf shoe here. So have they actually managed to pull it off? Well, I think they probably have actually. First of all, in regards to how these feel on feet, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but they are incredibly comfortable. That booty construction really kind of nicely hugs your foot, but it's not too tight, but it's just nice and soft. One thing to kind of bear in mind in regards to wearing these shoes is that you can see here you've got the heel tab on the rear, and you probably are going to need that. In regards to putting these on, because the tongue doesn't really come away or move from the shoe, they can be a little bit tricky to get on, especially if you've got a wider foot. Me personally, I'm a UK 9 and these fit true to size, but it's quite a skinny foot that I've got, so I don't have too much problem just kind of slipping my foot in there, but I still needed to use the pull tab as well. But once you get these shoes on, they are incredibly comfortable. I haven't had any blistering whatsoever. In regards to the feel underfoot, then actually these aren't quite as soft as the Adidas Boost technology that you get in the Codechaos shoes, but you know, nothing really feels like Adidas Boost, so it's almost a bit of an unfair comparison. But these feel plenty soft in their own right, and you know, are nice and comfortable. As I say, if you're looking for the softest feeling spikeless shoes, then these shoes aren't going to be it, but they are plenty soft enough for the vast majority of people, and you know, they served me really well and were nice and comfortable. In regards to how these fit on feet, as I mentioned, these fit me true to size. I'm a UK 9 and they fit my feet perfectly. There's not the most amount of room in these shoes, so if you've got particularly wide feet and you don't like the feeling of being kind of up close to the sides of the walls of the shoes, then maybe you might need to consider another shoe, because I don't believe these currently have a wide fit option. But for me personally, I quite like that feeling. I don't like the feeling of my feet kind of rattling around on the inside, and so personally these fit me really nice. To be honest, they just fit like a pair of running trainers, so I really kind of enjoy that feeling and makes it nice and comfortable out on the course. I did compare them directly against the Codechaos, and actually these do have a little bit more room compared to the Codechaos. Now Mizuno are saying that these are a lightweight golf shoe, so I thought I'd stick them on the scales, and you can see here that they weighed in at 364 grams. Now, to give you a frame of reference and a comparison, I also weighed the Adidas Codechaos. They come in slightly heavier at 370 grams. And I also weighed the FootJoy Pro SL, which come in at 388, the heaviest of the three. So with the Mizunos, you know, they are the lightest weight shoes of that little kind of bracket there. One other thing that I wanted to highlight with the shoes is actually their waterproof properties. Now, as I mentioned, Mizuno are giving you a 2-year waterproof guarantee. And I played with these in the rain, and you know, they didn't let in any water whatsoever, so they performed really well. But I really wanted to give them a bit more of a test, because you can see here on this tongue area that you've got this textile material on the tongue. It's just part of that booty construction underneath. So, you know, you can kind of expect the Kura material to be nice and waterproof. There's no kind of holes in there or anything like that at all. And you can expect it to be a good seal. They didn't let any water in out on the course. But I really wanted to test what this booty was like, because I thought it was going to just let in loads of water. So you can see here that I went out in the garden and I got a container and I poured 300 milliliters of water over the shoes, and really focusing on that tongue area. And you can see here that I was really impressed. They didn't let any water in whatsoever. My feet remained absolutely bone dry. Now, when I've done this test with other golf shoes, including the Adidas Codechaos, they let the water in on the tongue area. The tongue on those shoes is not waterproof. So if you get caught in a heavy downpour in them, they're gonna let in some water. But if you get caught in a heavy downpour in the Mizunos, they're not going to let in any water whatsoever. Now let's move on to the really important stuff now, and that's how these perform out on the course. What are they actually like as golf shoes? Because it's all very well and good having a shoe that kind of looks cool and looks like a running trainer, but you want it to perform like a golf shoe. And I can safely say actually that it really did perform like a golf shoe. So in regards to the stability of the shoe, you've got an internal heel counter here at the rear, and that kind of kept my foot nice and locked in at the back, so I didn't have any kind of slippage issues on the inside of the shoe. And actually, in regards to the stability of the shoe on the outside, my foot wasn't spilling over the midsole of the shoe, and the actual Kura material on the outside provides a decent amount of stability. You can actually see here, if I hold it up to the camera, that you've got a kind of decent amount of thickness to the material. There's a fair bit of stiffness to it as well, certainly on the lateral and the medial sides, which means that it gives you a nice amount of stability. Are these going to be the most stable golf shoes that you can possibly buy on the market? No, of course they're not, because they're not trying to be that. You have to have an element of compromise. If you want a lightweight, sporty shoe, you have to accept that there will be a little bit of flexibility in the sides of the shoe. You just can't have both. But for the vast majority of people out there, including myself, you're going to have no problems whatsoever in regards to the stability of this shoe. It's really quite impressive that it can have this sporty look but still be nice and stable. Another element as well that's helping with the stability is the midsole. So you've got the combination here of the Mizuno foam, but you've got this Mizuno Wave technology here. So you can see it's this plastic plate which runs from the middle of the foot here, so you can see it exposed in the middle of the underneath of the shoe, and it runs right through the middle of the foam here in the heel. And again, Mizuno have been using that technology for several years now in their running shoes, and it's designed in there to really give you a good amount of stability. Make sure that the shoe isn't too soft, I suppose, because there's a combination of if it's too soft, it's not going to give you the amount of stability you need, and also providing a really good amount of energy return. Now that's something I wanted to talk about with these shoes because, as I mentioned, they're not the softest golf shoes out on the market. Doesn't mean they're uncomfortable, I'm just saying that they're not the softest. But because of the way that they kind of transition when you walk out on the course, you have a real good kind of spring in your step. As I said, I felt I could go running in these shoes, which meant that at the end of 18 holes, I still felt like I had plenty of energy and my feet didn't feel tired at all. They were nice and comfortable. And I suppose I've got to put that down to that Wave technology in the shoe, and just the way that the shoe is structured just feels that it really just kind of wants to push you on and drive you on when you're out walking on the course. In regards to the grip of the shoe, and Mizuno are using their X10 carbon rubber. So Mizuno say this is a really durable rubber material which is going to give you plenty of grip. I've used it several times out on the course and I don't see that breaking down at all. And I've been really impressed with the actual layout of the traction pattern of the shoe. It's given me plenty of grip. I've not worried about slipping in this shoe at all whatsoever. If I was going to be using this out in the wettest of wet conditions, personally, I'd still go for a spiked golf shoe. I just think you're going to get better traction from a spiked in really, really wet conditions. But if you're going to be playing in nice and dry conditions, or if it's a bit dewy on the floor, or even if it's just raining a fair bit, then these are going to perform absolutely fine. They're going to be waterproof, but you're going to get a decent amount of grip from the bottom of these shoes as well. One thing I would say about the feeling of playing golf in these shoes is that ultimately these do feel more like a pair of running shoes than they do a pair of traditional golf shoes. Now, that's not a problem, it's just something that I wanted to highlight in case you really like the feeling of having perhaps a slightly wider base and feeling maybe a little bit flatter and connected to the ground. If you compare them against the Pro SL, you can see here, if you hold up the two bottoms of the shoes, you can see that the Pro SL has definitely got a kind of wider, flatter footprint compared to the Wave. So yeah, that's just something to be considerate of. For me personally, I didn't find that an issue. I actually really enjoyed playing golf in these. They felt really nice and comfortable and felt nice and sporty. If I compare them to the Codechaos and hold the two of them there, you can see actually that there's not much difference in regards to the width and the pattern of the shoes there. So, you know, the Codechaos are getting all the accolades in regards to being some of the best spikeless golf shoes out there in the market. I think the Mizuno Wave Cadence deserves to be up there and mentioned as well. Overall, I think Mizuno have done a great job with the Wave Cadence golf shoe. I really like the way that it feels, I like the way that it looks, and I like the way that it performs. My only worry is that it's going to go under the radar somewhat. Everyone's talking about the Codechaos, everyone knows about the Pro SL. This is definitely worth people checking out if you think that you're looking for a lightweight, sporty kind of golf shoe that can definitely be worn on and off the course as well, and that's going to provide you plenty of grip and plenty of traction. At £140 at the moment in the UK, that's priced pretty high in my opinion and could kind of maybe dent the shoe a little bit, but definitely keep an eye out because I've got a feeling that you might be able to pick this out cheaper as the months go by. But generally, overall, I've been really impressed with the Mizuno Wave Cadence. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of the shoe? Do you like the look of it? And do you think this is something that you'd want to try out? I really hope you enjoyed the video today, so make sure you hit that like button if you did, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date in all my latest reviews of golf shoes, clothing and tech right here on Golf Guy Reviews.